The wedding gift from my boyfriend of 10 years was his neighbor's frail, helpless sister. Luna's family helped me a lot, so I have to take care of her. Looking at Luna, so delicate and vulnerable, I nodded sympathetically. Little did I know, that was the beginning of my torment. On our wedding night, she bought all sorts of condoms to put on Marcus. She claimed she wanted to study the changes in the male anatomy before and after condom use. She researched in our room all night. I finally lost my temper, but Marcus said she was dedicated to medicine. Within the first month of our marriage, she insisted on drinking rare spring water collected at dawn. When I expressed my reluctance, Marcus demanded to know if I looked down on him and his neighbor's sister helpless. I had no choice but to wake up early to collect the water. But I accidentally got into a car accident. Instead of being taken to the orthopedic ward as I should have been, I was dragged to the gynecology ward, and my uterus was forcefully removed. Yet, Marcus still protected her. Luna just couldn't bear for you to suffer the pain of childbirth, so she kindly removed it for you. You should be thanking her. Hearing such an outrageous statement, you must think it's absurd. Even I can't believe everything I went through. The pain in my leg, mixed with a heavy ache in my stomach, woke me with a start. It felt like I had been dreaming for a very long time. Sweating coldly, I stared at the white ceiling. I remembered Marcus taking me to the hospital. The doctor said my thigh bone was fractured and required surgery, but why was there a stitch scar on my abdomen? I touched the stitch scar on my stomach and, with difficulty, pressed the nurse call button. A nurse rushed over, grabbing my hand. Ms. Grace, you mustn't touch that now. Your abdominal scar is prone to infection. I was stunned, holding her hand. Please. Why do I have a scar on my stomach? Wasn't I supposed to have surgery for a fractured bone? The nurse looked at me in shock, wide-eyed. Ms. Grace, what are you talking about? Weren't you wheeled out of the gynecology ward? My pupils constricted. What did you say? My thigh bone was fractured. I was supposed to go to the orthopedic ward. How could I have been wheeled out of gynecology? The nurse seemed to have never encountered such a situation. Panicked, she said. Please wait a moment. I'll go ask Dr. Luna. She personally performed your surgery? Before she could leave, she bumped into Marcus, who was impeccably dressed. He frowned displeasedly, looking at me as if I were being unreasonable. What's all this noise? Luna just got some rest. She didn't sleep all night performing your hysterectomy. How much more do you plan to torment her? Hearing his words, a chill shot from my feet straight to my heart. My heart felt like it was being squeezed by an invisible hand. My throat tightened. You let Luna remove my uterus? Marcus impatiently tossed the medical chart onto the bed. Luna couldn't bear for you to suffer the pain of childbirth, so she kindly performed the latest painless hysterectomy for you. You should be thanking her. He tugged at his collar impatiently, as if I should be eternally grateful to Luna. I laughed in exasperation, unable to help but shout. Marcus, do you even hear yourself? Because her plan lacked clinical experience, you used me for a human experiment? My heart was filled with bitterness. How could I have ever agreed to marry Marcus and welcome his cruel, manipulative sister into our home? I still remembered Marcus's sincere expression. He knelt on the floor, begging me to accept his unfortunate sister. He claimed he had never felt fatherly love since childhood. It was Luna's family who took care of him, cooking and washing his clothes. He even said that one time when he almost drowned, Luna saved him. Later, his parents brought him to the city for school, but Luna's parents would still often send him food and stay in touch. Grace, Luna's parents are gone now. If I don't take care of her, no one will. She also has bipolar disorder. If left unchecked, something terrible could happen. So please, let her come live with us. It's just one more mouth to feed. It won't affect us at all. At that time, Luna wore a white dress, head bowed, fiddling with her fingers, projecting an innocent, pure demeanor. I simply thought Marcus was a grateful and responsible man, and my soft heart led me to agree. I busied myself with arranging Luna's arrival at our home, but in just 1 month, this angel from the family who supposedly saved him had caused me so much trouble. And now, she had even removed my uterus. An indescribable anger surged through me. I looked at Marcus, who seemed to be thinking, she was thinking of you. Why aren't you grateful? His collar even had a fresh lipstick stain, and a strong perfume scent assaulted my senses. My eyes red. I yelled hysterically, about to confront him about the unspeakable things he had been doing behind my back. The next second, Luna pushed open the door. Grace, what's all the shouting about? What happened? Seeing her innocent, pure demeanor, I gritted my teeth and roared, you bitch. No wonder your parents died. Why didn't someone as malicious as you die sooner? The next second, slap, my face was struck. The room fell silent, with only the sound of heavy breathing. My face instantly swelled. Marcus's entire face was flushed, his hands still raised high. I forbid you to speak about Luna that way. She's so kind. You're the malicious one. Only then did I remember that when Luna first came to live with us, the first thing Marcus told me was not to mention Luna's illness or her parents, because it would upset Luna and make her sad. But what did that have to do with me? I wasn't the one indebted to them, nor was I the one who killed her parents. Even her illness had nothing to do with me. Why should I endure all of this? Just because of Marcus? Should I bear all this unrelated pain? Luna didn't speak. She just pulled Marcus's hand, lacing their fingers together. Marcus, don't be angry. I know Grace has many reasons to dislike me, so it's understandable for her to hate me. Looking at the pitiful, understanding Luna, Marcus's eyes were filled with tenderness. You're too kind. But she's unappreciative of my kindness. From now on, don't always put others first, you silly girl. As he spoke, he gently flicked Luna's nose. Every word, every gesture, felt like a heavy stone smashing into my heart. My heart shattered with pain, because ever since I was a child, I envied others who had a sister to dress up and dote on. So when Luna came to my home, I was very happy. I even decorated her room myself and researched online how to get along with a sister. I truly cared for her like a younger sister. I covered my swollen face. All words stuck in my throat, unable to speak. Marcus, seeing my silence, assumed I understood my mistake, that the slap had brought me to heel. When we first got together, he was the aloof campus heartthrob, and I was just one of his many admirers. To please him, I often surprised him. Every word he said, I remembered. If he said east, I wouldn't say west. Even if he said the sun rose from the west, I would smile and agree. That's how I shamelessly stayed by his side for 3 years until he finally agreed to be with me. He condescendingly stroked my head. Now you're my girlfriend. You must be obedient and listen to everything I say. Blinded by love, I nodded quickly. From then on, I did whatever he said, without question, to save him face. I even invested in a company and arranged for partners to invite him to join as a manager. It was so he would have financial standing and people wouldn't call him a kept man. But now, he was using the excuse of gratitude to hurt me mercilessly. How ridiculous I was. I always thought sincerity would be met with sincerity, but it was just as manipulation of my feelings. I exhaled a heavy breath from my chest, my voice hoarse. Marcus, let's get a divorce. Don't you want to repay your debt of gratitude? Now's your chance. Go ahead and dedicate yourself to her. If I still couldn't see what was going on between them, it'd be doomed to a wretched life. Marcus's eyes widened as if H heard a joke. He curled his lips mockingly. Grace, just say you're jealous of Luna. Women need to be obedient. Bringing up divorce too often gets tiresome. I don't believe you'd actually leave me. I know what you're thinking. I'll just pretend I didn't hear that. If we actually divorced, wouldn't you go crazy? He was right. Anyone who knew our story would think I was insane. After all, among all his pursuers, I was the only one who persevered through his difficulties. He once said he couldn't see my love for him, so I spent 2 months personally planning and training. On's day, I had 5,200 drones light up the entire night sky. Grace will always love Marcus. Not asking for eternity, but for this lifetime to be with him. No one would believe I would leave the person I loved most, apart from my parents. My gaze firm, I looked directly into Marcus's eyes. I'm serious. Since you chose to repay your debt by getting involved with Luna, I have a strong sense of emotional integrity. I find it disgusting. Marcus had severe, never used perfume, and changed his clothes daily, always quiet and tidy. But now, he was still wearing yesterday's clothes, emanating a strong perfume scent mixed with a strong cloying floral scent, and his collar was covered in lipstick stains. Both of their gazes darted away, their faces flushed. Anyone with eyes could tell what they had been doing. The next second, Marcus's face turned crimson, and he glared at me viciously. Luna, looking shy and resentful, stomped her foot and ran out of the hospital room. Fine, divorce then. If anything happens to Luna, I won't let you get away with it. With that, Marcus chased after her without a backward glance. I looked at the bandages on my stomach, laughing, then crying. After a long while, I called my partner. There's no need to push that project anymore. It's not necessary. My partner on the other end exclaimed in surprise. Did something happen? You've been following this project for so long. Are you sure you want to give up? This medicine is very effective for bipolar disorder, and the market is huge. I'm sure. Pause the project. I'm tired. With that, I hung up. Marcus had once said, if only there was a cure for bipolar disorder. I had spent 2 years on it, intending to help him repay his debt. But now it was useless. I called Eleanor, the renowned orthopedic surgeon. Eleanor rushed over, examined my thigh, and frowned deeply. Why hasn't this been treated? If you delay any longer, you'll have to get an amputation. I grimaced in pain, biting down hard on the blanket. Eleanor performed an emergency surgery, a complex procedure. For 72 hours, she reassembled the shattered bones in my thigh. When I awoke from the anesthesia, she looked at me sternly. Ms. Grace, you must take good care of yourself. It takes 100 days for bones and muscles to heal. You need to stay in bed for at least 2 months, or your bones will twist, and then everything will be uncertain. I nodded. The next second, Marcus burst into the room, grabbing my hand. Luna's gone missing. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, she wouldn't have had an episode. Why aren't you sending people to find her immediately? If anything happens to her, I'll never forgive you. I winced, pulling my hand back, about to speak. Eleanor, quick-witted, called security, who escorted Marcus out. I gratefully thanked her. She sighed softly, nodded, and left. I let out a wry laugh, not taking Marcus's words to heart. After a few days of rest, I asked my college friend to help draft the divorce papers. He was shocked when he heard I wanted to divorce Marcus. What? You two just got married a month ago? You loved him so much. Can you really give up? Yes, everyone knew Grace was madly in love with Marcus, but I was truly exhausted. I had walked 99 steps, and he had retreated 99 steps. I took a deep breath and smiled at my friend. Just as I was about to make an excuse, Marcus burst in. So that's why you weren't looking for Luna? You were fooling around with this man? Can't you live without a man? You're so depraved. Every word pierced my heart. So in his mind, if I talked to any man, it was betrayal? He probably didn't remember that for his career. I often accompanied him to bars for long hours, smiling and drinking glass after glass, until I had a stomach hemorrhage. At that time, he was extremely worried, took on all the chores, and even went to great lengths to plead for a good luck charm for me. Every morning, he would get up to make me porridge, promising a different kind every day. After 3 full months, my stomach condition finally improved. That was the one time I felt he truly loved me. But now, he had no patience for me, only endless hatred. I casually handed him the divorce papers. You're right about everything. Sign this, and we can part ways amicably. His face turned ashen. He snatched the papers and tore them into pieces. Divorce? Don't even think about it. Not unless you bring Luna back. If she comes back, I might consider spending a few days with you. His words made me laugh in disbelief. An older husband spending time with his wife had conditions? I scoffed. Just sign it. Your companionship isn't as valuable as you think. As for Luna, I don't know where she is. Marcus clenched his fists. The next second, he made a phone call, and over a dozen bodyguards entered. Last time, you had me thrown out of the hospital room. This time, you won't have a choice. You won't tell me where Luna is, huh? Then I'll beat it out of you. My friend was stunned and tried to intervene but was dragged away and severely beaten by the bodyguards. I struggled to stop them, but Marcus smashed a chair beneath me, letting out a horrific scream. Some of my healing wounds tore open again. It felt like all the bones in my lower body had shattered, accompanied by agonizing screams and a suffocating ache in my heart. Marcus looked on with cold mockery, smiling. Let's see how tough you are. Will you talk or not? I spat out some water. I told you I don't know. What do you want me to say? Marcus waved his hand, about to signal the bodyguards to continue, when a voice rang out, Mr. Marcus, Dr. Luna is looking for you. He completely softened, frantically tearing off his blood-stained clothes, and quickly ran towards the voice. I lay collapsed on the bed, my vision blurring. In my ears, I could still hear his concerned voice. Luna, where did you go? You scared me to death. 3 days later, I struggled awake to see 99 missed calls from my partner and a screen full of messages. As soon as I called him back, I heard his panicked voice. Grace, it's bad. Your project has been exposed for harming humanity, and the company's stock has plummeted. The company has been turned into a garbage dump. There's a flood of online criticism, and employees are all threatening to quit. I looked at the photos he sent. The company's exterior was covered in garbage, and even my employees weren't spared. all covered in rotten eggs and garbage. Overwhelming condemnation and ridicule filled the internet. I paused, then saw a message from Marcus. How do you like the surprise? On the phone, my partner hesitated. We called the police, but they haven't found anyone yet. I suspect it's. Before he could finish, I scoffed. It's Marcus, isn't it? I called Marcus. What do you mean by this? You're biting the hand that feeds you. Am I? Did you think I wouldn't know the company was yours if you didn't tell me? I just want to make you lose everything. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, why would Luna be so scared? She had an episode. Can you compensate for that? He was always like this. Doing anything for Luna. Marcus, I don't believe I've ever wronged you in any way, have I? Why are you doing this? If you know about the company, you should know it's not just mine. If you don't want to see me, then just sign the papers early. I heard Marcus chuckle. Let me give you another surprise. The next second, my partner yelled in terror. Grace, it's bad. All the research facility project records have been formatted, including yours. I struggled as my assistant pushed me towards the company. Witnessing the company turned into a garbage dump, I tremblingly opened the research facility door. Marcus sat in the main chair, legs crossed, watching me. Grace, do you like this gift? Seeing my tears stream down, his smile grew even brighter. You arrived quite fast. Now you should have nothing left, right? You looked down on me, yet secretly got me into the company. It seems your two-faced tactics are pretty good, Ms. Grace. I struggled, wanting to stand up, and yelled hysterically, you lunatic. Do you know there were studies for bipolar disorder medication in there? The clinical trials were almost successful, and it was about to be released. Now you've formatted everything. Marcus's face instantly turned ashen. What? How could you be working on that experiment? I snorted. It was originally intended as a 1-year anniversary gift for him, thinking of the countless families suffering from bipolar disorder. I had a change of heart and let my partner continue the research. But now, not only Luna's hope, but the hope of so many bipolar disorder families across the nation, was all destroyed. He had no idea how much effort I had put into researching bipolar disorder. I had invited numerous experts, held countless seminars, and conducted innumerable experiments. The final drug was on the verge of clinical trials, and just like that, he personally formatted everything. It was all gone. My partner rushed to the computer, attempting to salvage something. Looking at the recover button on the screen, my assistant nervously pushed me to look. After a long moment, my assistant said, Ms. Grace, Mr. David, it's irreparable. The former researcher formatted everything on cloud storage. This was the last copy. Angrily, I threw the mouse at Marcus's face. His expression turned ugly. Remember, this is all your fault. Bipolar disorder could have been cured quickly, but you had to prove yourself. You can't blame anyone else. Marcus smiled ingratiatingly at me. Grace, it was just a joke, right? It's fine, isn't it? I gestured for my assistant to push me forward. I walked up to him and slapped him hard. That kind of joke isn't funny. You will always be the criminal for bipolar disorder. Grace, how could you hit Marcus? Luna struggled to Marcus, looking like she was comforting him. Marcus's fists were tightly clenched, but he still didn't dare to strike me, because he knew that apart from me, no one else would be willing to invest heavily in the research. He had no choice but to beg me, even though everything was gone. Maybe if he begged me, I would put aside our past and continue to throw money into it. Thinking this, Marcus stepped closer. My assistant and partner shielded me. Seeing this, he twitched the corner of his mouth, forcing a smile. Grace, we were wrong just now. It's understandable that you're angry. He then shoved the keyboard into my hands. Smash it if you want. Do whatever you need to do. He even pulled Luna in front of me. Luna, apologized to Grace immediately. Luna glared at Marcus in dissatisfaction. Marcus, you're making me apologize to her. You don't love me at all anymore. Marcus raised his hand high and lightly patted her head. What nonsense are you talking about? I'm doing this for your own good. It was the first time I had seen him treat Luna this way. But his hands still fell gently, differently. I curled my lips. Sure enough, love and lack of love are truly obvious. I signaled my assistant to push me away. Marcus watched my retreating back, and for the first time, he lost his temper with lunacy. What's wrong with apologizing? Now you've angered her. What about your illness? Luna's eyes were red. She stood on her tiptoes and kissed his Adam's apple. I only need Marcus. Didn't you say you'd be with me forever? If it were before, Marcus would have softened long ago, gently comforting her in his arms. But now, he felt an inexplicable anger rising. Normally, he was easily swayed by Luna's clinging and dependent behavior. She was a soft, delicate presence, and he would pluck the stars from the sky for her if she asked. But at this crucial moment, she was so oblivious, not at all like. Thinking this, he couldn't help but compare me and Luna. In comparison, I was independent and self-reliant, capable of solving most of his life's problems. I allowed him to live a dignified life, giving him plenty of face in front of others, whereas after saving him, only brought him trouble, suppressing his anger. He met Luna's tearful gaze and could only persuade her, "Luna, you're not a child anymore. You need to grow up. You need to start your own family in the future and consider things carefully. You can't just act impulsively like you do now." Before he finished speaking, Luna's eyes widened. "What? Marcus, are you saying you don't want me anymore?" Marcus frowned in exasperation. "Do you plan to spend your entire life with me? I'm married. No matter how much Grace and I argue, it doesn't change the fact that we're husband and wife." He said it all in one breath. The small barrier in his heart disappeared, and he even smiled with relief. He really liked Luna's clinging and dependent nature, but it would never compare to the powerful support and superficial prestige I brought him. As long as I was around, he could always be the Mr. Marcus praised for his talent and looks. With that, he turned and walked away. He didn't notice Luna's obsessive gaze behind him, as if she wanted to devour him whole, but he didn't see it. His mind was entirely focused on how to win me back. He returned home, expecting to see me. After all, at this time, I would usually be waiting by the door with dog Beto for him to come home, even if it often meant waiting until midnight. But when he opened the door, the entire room looked as if it had been ransacked. Things were scattered haphazardly on the floor. He ran over in a panic. All my belongings had been moved out of the room. Only his remained, just as he was about to call me. Several workers came in. Marcus ran over in a panic. "Who are you? Who allowed you in? You're trespassing." A worker pushed him away, frowning in annoyance. "Who are you? Don't interfere with our work. Time is tight, and the task is urgent. Everyone, hurry up and remove the items. The owner is ready to redecorate." "Redecorate?" Marcus disregarded his soiled clothes, his eyes gleaming as he looked at the worker. "Is planning to redecorate for me?" The worker impatiently scrutinized him for a few moments. "Grace, you mean the previous owner of this villa? She's apparently going abroad, so she sold the villa to Mr. Robert." This news struck him like a bolt from the blue. Marcus stumbled back a few steps in disbelief. Collapsing onto the sofa, he never expected me to be so heartless, to truly abandon him. He tossed and turned, trying to contact me, but found he didn't know any of my friends, and just like that, I completely vanished from his world. Meanwhile, I was recuperating in a private hospital. My leg bone condition was not good, and Eleanor was painstakingly taking care of me. I took the opportunity to transfer my company to the international market. After his actions, the company was no longer suitable for development in the local market. My partner advised me, asking why I had to move it out when I could just move to another city. I shook my head. He was still thinking too simply. Marcus and Luna were both lunatics. Any slight entanglement with them would pull me back into their lives, so the conditions in the local market are no longer suitable, and the company also needs a larger market for development. As soon as I finished speaking, my partner opened the door, and there stood Marcus. He looked unusually disheveled this time, his clothes clinging to him in disarray. He looked utterly haggard. My partner tried to stop him from entering, but he squeezed past anyway. He looked like he hadn't slept in a long time, completely worn out, his eyes red and swollen, as if he had been crying. In the past, I would have rushed forward to comfort him, giving him whatever he wanted, but now, I no longer loved him. I felt calm, even a little disgusted. "What are you doing here?" The moment Marcus saw me, a flicker of light appeared in his eyes. "Grace, I was wrong, truly wrong. Can I apologize to you? Please, don't leave me. It was my eagerness to repay my debt that hurt you repeatedly, but I do love you." I scoffed. Even at this point, he still hadn't realized the truth. He still thought it was about repaying a debt. Tightly wrapping up the ugly truth in his heart, I shook my head and pulled out the contract I had prepared earlier. "Sign it. Don't you just want me to continue researching bipolar disorder?" Marcus was startled. "You're really willing?" I sneered. "You have 3 seconds. If you don't sign, it's void." He hastily signed his name, a smile playing on his lips as he handed it to me. "Grace, you've forgiven me?" Then, I put the contract away, cutting off his grating words. "All right. I'll continue researching bipolar disorder, but you and Luna will have nothing more to do with me. Marcus froze, then reacted. That wasn't the bipolar disorder research contract I just signed. He frantically tried to snatch it back. I looked at him, sneering. That's right. It's the divorce papers. No, that can't be. You loved me so much. How could you leave me? Please, Grace. Don't joke like this, okay? Let's go home. I'll cook for you and stay with you, okay? A wave of irritation washed over me. I called security and had them throw him out. I don't love you. And don't bother me again. From now on, we'll never see each other again. He was dragged out by the security guards, muttering, how could this be? Weren't you the one who loved me most? How could you stop loving me just like that? I know you must be angry with Luna and me. Don't worry. Once Luna gets married, I won't take care of her anymore. Grace, can we make up? I sighed and waved my hand, telling the security to take him away. After he was gone, I quickly changed hospitals. Under's care. I was finally able to get out of bed. I settled into a routine of rehabilitation and work. Fortunately, my partner was very capable, so I only had to handle work remotely. 2 months later, I boarded a plane. Looking at the floating clouds outside the window, my heart finally settled. I was about to embark on my new life, one that was smooth and full of hope from now on. I had completely cut ties with Marcus and Luna. While working on the bipolar disorder project, I received a message from my partner, Grace. Luna had an episode during surgery, causing a major medical accident. Bipolar disorder is receiving a lot of medical attention right now. Should we release the information early? I paused. It was somewhat expected. I had previously focused on the bipolar disorder community because of Luna. Her condition, without medication, coupled with her obsession, would certainly relapse. But I hadn't expected it so soon. The next second, a message popped up. It was from Marcus. I didn't know how he got my new account. Grace, please help Luna, okay? Didn't you say you wanted to help bipolar disorder patients? I really can't do anything else. She only has me as family. I can't abandon her. Please help her, okay? I looked at his message and laughed sardonically. After 2 months of desperately trying to find me, Marcus, immediately after Luna's incident, found my account. How ridiculous. I didn't reply to him, just calmly replied to my partner. Although there's a lot of attention now, there's also a lot of controversy. It's better to wait until things are closer to an end. Though I spoke of controversy, I mostly wanted to see how Marcus would resolve these issues without me. I didn't pay much attention. The international market was indeed vast, and my company's business continued to expand. But a couple of days later, I saw a news article my friend forwarded to me. Marcus was actually live streaming himself kneeling, pressuring me to release the bipolar disorder medication. In the video, he looked haggard, much thinner, and his clothes had changed from custom-made clothes to bargain bin clothes that cost a few dollars. With loose threads visible, he knelt in the middle of the shopping mall, pleading. Reporters and passersby who heard the commotion felt no sympathy for him. This is that opportunistic social climber. He ate and drank at her expense, and even for his sake, she secretly got him a manager position at her company. I know. He repaid her gratitude with an affair and even brought bodyguards to beat his own wife. And he slandered his wife's company. Now that his wife left him, he still has the nerve to beg her to help his mistress. Disgusting, truly disgusting. The passersby's voices were loud enough that Marcus's face gradually flushed, but he remained steadfastly kneeling. I watched him with a numb expression. I couldn't explain it, but it seemed I no longer hated him. Everyone gets what they deserve. Meeting him was a failure in judging character for me. My friend messaged me. What? Do you want me to help him? No need. We have no relationship anymore. If anything, we're enemies. After discussing the local market situation with my friend, at my partner's strong suggestion, our bipolar disorder medical solution successfully passed clinical trials, and the bipolar disorder medication was officially used to treat bipolar disorder. During the promotion and awareness campaigns for bipolar disorder, I unexpectedly met Ethan, a psychologist. He was a cheerful, outgoing doctor. In his interactions and communication with bipolar disorder patients, he was like a ray of sunshine. Through multiple charity events, we gradually became familiar with each other. Our conversations grew, and he not only had expertise in medicine but also a unique vision in the business world. And so, we gradually confirmed our relationship. On the day we officially became a couple, I voiced my concerns. He laughed, somewhat surprised, looking at me. I love you. I'm very happy to be your partner. As for having children, that's my brother's concern. My concern is to make you my moon, whole and radiant. 2 years later, Ethan and I returned to the local market to meet our parents. At a reunion with old friends, I heard news of Marcus. He and Luna were together. After his incident, he spent all his savings pleading for the victims' families' forgiveness. Fortunately, the patient fully recovered, so the lawsuit was withdrawn. However, the hospital couldn't keep Luna. And after this incident, she couldn't get into any other hospital. Ultimately, Marcus became a delivery driver, and Luna found a job as a store clerk. They lived in a rental apartment. Initially, they were very much in love, but then the pressures of life became too great, and they basically did nothing but argue. I listened, curved my lips into a smile, and didn't respond. On the way back, I saw a couple arguing on the street. Marcus, why are you so useless? No home, no car. Everyone else our age already has everything. You're such a failure. You have the nerve to say that? Whose fault is it that I ended up like this? If I wasn't fixated on the favor your parents did him, would I have hurt Grace? You have the nerve to say that. Watching their entangled figures, I looked away. Ethan smiled and said, Grace, it's a full moon tonight. We looked at each other. The streetlight across the road indeed looked like a full moon. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any thoughts about this story, feel free to share them in the comment section.